On September 9th, 2025, the United States got another UFO hearing, but this one was different. For the first time in history, an active military officer testified under oath about UFO encounters, and the public got two new UFO videos that were filmed by the military. Here are all the key takeaways from the hearing. As always, I'm here to report the news without bias, and you can decide what to believe. You can find all the sources in my detailed articles at ufonews.co, along with in the description box below. Hey ufologers, I'm Cristina Gomez, and welcome to this episode of the 2025 UFO Hearing Analysis.
My name is Alexandro Wiggins. I'm an active duty U.S. Navy Operations Specialist, Senior Chief Petty Officer. On the evening of February 15th, 2023, at approximately 19:15 PST, in the Whiskey 291 warning area off the coast of Southern California, I was serving on board USS Jackson, and what our crew recorded was not consistent with conventional aircraft or drones as they appear on our system. A self-luminous tic-tac shaped object emerged from the ocean before linking up with three other similar objects.
Chief Alexandro Wiggins made history as the first current serving military member to publicly testify about UFO encounters under oath, and we even got the actual footage to back it up what he saw. But this video doesn't at all compare to the next one that I'll be sharing with you a little later on. What makes this significant is not just Wiggins' testimony, but the fact that the Navy explicitly authorized his appearance. As drawn from the hearing, Wiggins stated he received official approval from top Navy leadership to testify, presenting a fundamental shift in this institutional posture, at least when it comes to the Navy and not the Air Force. Wiggins provided multi-sensor corroboration that scientists have been demanding. We got radar tracking, visual confirmation, and FLIR recordings with time location overlays presented in the official Navy systems.
These observations were multi-sensor and recorded inside of ICC-1 with time location overlay visible in our source frames that have been made public by journalists. From my experience operating in this region over many years and consistent with our public characterized encounters, unidentified objects reoccur in United States operation areas off Southern California.
This hearing moved beyond vague allegations to specific accusations against named individuals and even corporations. Journalist George Knapp directly identified late Dr. James Ryder at Lockheed Martin as being involved in UAP material storage and analysis, and also Glenn Gaffney from the CIA was also mentioned to the list of officials allegedly managing UAP programs.
Are any of you willing to name specific gatekeepers within the root cell of the UAP SAP Federation?
You mean specific people and contractors that have dealt with this and kept the secret?
Specific individuals.
Well, one of them was named Dr. James Ryder at Lockheed. But, you know, again, to emphasize, I don't fault these contractors for doing what they were asked to do by our government.
Knapp also revealed that Robert Bigelow's Aerospace, or BASS organization, had negotiated directly with Lockheed Martin executives to acquire unusual materials that had been stored at a California facility. According to his testimony, this material was confirmed as not being manufactured on Earth. But perhaps the most significant development was Chairwoman Luna's announcement that the task force would approach the president directly for access to special access programs, SAPs, across multiple agencies. And this represents an escalation in congressional oversight that bypasses traditional Pentagon gatekeeping mechanisms. Luna revealed that the Department of Defense has created bureaucratic mazes requiring approval from multiple community chairs just to view UAP material. And the task force's decision to seek presidential intervention signals Congress will no longer accept these procedural barriers. And before we continue, what do you think about the Navy officially authorizing an active duty officer to testify about UFO encounters? Does this suggest institutional disclosure is finally beginning? Or is this a limited hangout operation? Let me know in the comments below. Congressman Eric Burleson delivered one of the hearing's most shocking moments when he presented previously unseen footage from October 30th, 2024. The video, captured by an MQ-9 Reaper drone off the coast of Yemen, shows what appears to be a direct Hellfire missile strike on an unidentified orb-like object.
I want to queue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe, this was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone. And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about, events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff.
And this video bears striking similarities to historical incidents like the Malmstrom Air Force Base encounter in the 1960s, where UFOs reportedly demonstrated immunity to conventional weapons. But it just gets more interesting. Jeffrey Nusatelli revealed a shocking pattern of evidence destruction that explains decades of missing UFO documentation. When he attempted to provide records to AARO, he was informed that the Air Force systematically destroyed all police records every 3 years. This means decades of UFO encounter documentation has been permanently eliminated.
I did have follow-up by AARO, nothing with the Air Force. The AARO, they let me know that they were unable to locate any records, that the records had been destroyed by the Air Force. The Air Force is destroying all their police records every 3 years on a schedule. So
you were informed that these documents were destroyed.
Well, I have a Freedom of Information Act from the Air Force that states clearly that they destroy all police records on a 3-year schedule.
Okay. So they were sitting on documentation, destroyed it, refused to question any of the lead investigators, anything leading into this investigation?
Yeah, basically they destroyed all the police records. So you couldn't even call the Air Force and ask them if there was a vehicle accident in that time frame. So that's a big problem. We're losing data in real time.
This revelation explains why so many historical UFO cases lack official documentation. The destruction appears systematic and deliberate, preventing future researchers from accessing evidence of encounters at sensitive military installations. And George Knapp delivered devastating testimony about AARO's treatment of credible witnesses. He detailed how Robert Jacobs, a former Vandenberg lieutenant who recorded UFO interactions with nuclear weapons back in 1964, was completely dismissed despite providing detailed testimony about official film confiscation.
It almost looks like AARO operated as a counterintelligence operation to get people to come in, tell their stories, and then discredit all of them. I can't imagine that any whistleblower or witness will ever go to AARO again because of what happened under the first director, who's now long gone, but still seems to act as the spokesperson for that organization.
And I would say, Madam Chair, maybe at some point we need to really dig deep into AARO, and I would encourage us.
Oh, I'd be happy to send maybe a subpoena to Mr. Kilpatrick.
That'd be fun.
The applause here said it all, but we can't let that applause distract us. Nusatelli's testimony established that UFO encounters are not random, but appear deliberately timed to coincide with the most sensitive national security operations. The 5 UFO incidents between 2003 and 2005 in Vandenberg occurred during what he described as the most important missile defense launches in 25 years, protected by 500 Air Force personnel.
Official Air Force records of this event are in possession by AARO and the FBI. Later that night, while I was on duty, security guards at a critical launch site reported a bright, fast-moving object over the ocean. I responded to the incident. Chaos ensued over the radio as the object approached rapidly. I heard my friends screaming, "It's coming right at us, it's coming right for us, and now it's right here." Moments later, I heard them say that it had shot off and was gone. When I arrived on scene, I talked to 5 shaken witnesses who described a massive triangular craft larger than a football field that hovered silently for about 45 seconds over their entry control point before shooting away at impossible speed.
This pattern suggests either foreign adversary intelligence or non-human intelligence demonstrating awareness of critical military operations. Either possibility represents a significant national security concern that demands immediate attention. And we can also look at the connection between UFOs and nuclear weapons, UFOs and global wars. Knapp's presentation of classified Russian documents from 1993 revealed UFOs as a global phenomenon, with governments sharing information through back channels. And these documents, analyzed by Robert Bigelow's team and provided to the Defense Intelligence Agency, show the Soviet Union conducted possibly the largest UFO investigation in history.
These UFOs perform incredible maneuvers. They split apart, they fuse back together, they'd appear and disappear. And right at the end of this 4-hour period, the launch control codes for the ICBMs lit up. Something entered the correct codes. The missiles were fired up and ready to launch, and they could not shut it down. The Russian officers were panicking. The UFOs they disappeared. The launch control system goes back to normal. Colonel Sokolov and his team came in, took the thing apart, could not figure out what it was. It wasn't a power surge or EMPs or some of the baloney excuses that our country has given for similar events involving our nuclear missiles. They thought it was a message from wherever the UFOs were from. And that's a chilling thing. I mean, we were a couple of seconds away from World War III starting, and the UFOs were responsible for it.
Dylan Borland's testimony provided the most emotionally powerful moments of the hearing. A former Air Force intelligence specialist who worked in special access programs, Borland described systematic career destruction for reporting UFO information, and his voice became strained as he detailed being blacklisted from the intelligence community and surviving on unemployment benefits.
Since my ICIG complaint, I've been prevented from resuming prior employment and can confirm I'm still blacklisted from certain agencies within the intelligence community. In addition, multiple agencies attempted phishing attacks to assess what I had divulged to the Inspector General, including being asked to disclose details of my ICIG complaint during a CI polygraph for a position unrelated to UFO UAP matters as recently as November 2024. As I sit before you today, I and many other whistleblowers have no job prospects, no foreseeable professional future, and a nation every single one of us came forward to defend.
The audience broke into a spontaneous applause when Borland apologized to fellow whistleblowers for being unable to protect them. And his testimony demonstrated the personal cost of UFO disclosure and the need for enhanced whistleblower protections. It's also worth noting that the hearing featured a large number of mainstream references that I don't think anyone was expecting. Names were dropped like Joe Rogan, Daniel Sheehan, Stephen Greer, Robert Castle, Michael Herrera, just to name a few, and then even Coast to Coast AM. showing how UAP disclosure has penetrated popular culture. Congressman Kane's admission to transformation from skeptic to believer after seeing credible military testimony reflects a broader shift in public perception. And this hearing represents the most significant UFO disclosure event in congressional history. We witnessed the first active duty military testimony with institutional support, specific corporate and CIA officials named in alleged programs, systematic evidence destruction exposed, and Congress demanding presidential access to classified programs. And of course, we can't forget the 2 new UFO videos that we received as well. Are we finally seeing disclosure? Or will these revelations disappear into classified briefings? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Cristina Gomez, and that is it for today. I will see you tomorrow again at 10 a.m. PST for another UFO news update. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the notification bell as I do daily UFO news and updates. Fresh UAP stories, government disclosures, and breaking developments land here every single day.